Hello, family and friends. How's your day going? Hope everything is well. It's good to meet you on another day. This is end of January going to February 2025. So it's a wonderful time being alive. Talking about the election in Donald Trump becoming the president, it has been so wonderful and a lot of changes. It has been awesome. So today I want to share with us some of the tips. I've already read 35 reading tips I've learned after reading a lot of books. 35 reading tips I've learned after reading lots of books. Number one is the hardest part of reading is sitting down to start. As we all know, the hardest part of reading is just to sit down and find time to start reading. I have a book. I have the book I'm reading. Um, I have this book here, which is Daily The Daily Laws by Robert Greene. It's a very good one. This is just like for 365 days daily law of, the daily laws. It combines Robert Greene, the 40 laws of power, the seduction, mastery, and the law of human nature. All Robert Greene's books is combined in this. There is a summary every day. You have one summary of from each of Robert Greene's books. So, as I was saying, one of the most hardest parts of reading is just to sit down. With days of information, there are a lot of phones. You have TV, you have laptop, you have iPad, you have phones. So many gadgets, so many things trying to take your time, and a lot of distractions. So one of the most hardest part of it is to sit down and start. Then number two is quit boring books to make room for brilliant ones. So there are a lot of books. You have so many kind of books. So one of the best way that you can move on very fast is to quit the boring ones. Like there's a book I read so many years ago, The One and Only Law of Winning. So it's a very big book. When I saw the book, I bought the book maybe is it 1999. One and Only Law of Winning. So when I saw the title, it was very captivating. I said, man, this book, I'm going to look for the One and Only Law of Winning. So the book is not really interesting in any way, but the guy he talked about his father, and he said the father taught him the one and only law of winning, one and only law of winning. And once I got the one and only law of winning, I just pack up the book but the one only law of winning in that book, we talk about his father, what his father taught him, and what his father taught him is to take action. So the one and only law of winning is to take action, because you might know everything, you might know what to do, you might know how to do it, but if you don't put it to work, it will nothing work. So one of the ways to start reading is to quit the boring books and get to the ones that are more interesting. Then number two is reading one book. Reading one book may not change your life, but reading every day will change your life. Reading one book might not change your life. You might, one book might change your life, but it's good to always have the habit of reading. But I will tell you, for some years now, my reading habit have been very, very slow. I believe that is based on so much commitment. So when I was much younger, I used to read a lot. At least I read maybe like 2 books in a week, but not really a book that has a lot of volumes. The one that has a lot of volumes, maybe I can read it for 2 weeks, 1 month. But smaller books like 500, 400 pages, 300 pages, I read it for a week. But right now, with so much commitment and so much demand of time, but I would say those are still excuses. But what I do mostly now, I listen to audiobooks. Like for the past 1 week now, I've listened to 2 audiobooks. So I have some audiobooks on my Audible. So though I've subscribed with Audible before now, so but right now I don't know what happened to that account. So you can see what I'm reading, I'm listening to now. It's just like what I'm reading. Rich Dad, Rich Dad, Awaken Your Financial Genius, which is a very good one. It's a very, very good one. So I've finished one of them. I've finished how to how to get and stay motivated by Grant Cardone. Then I have here the Law of Human Nature. As you can see, they're on my iPad already. But I have this account on my phone, the phone I'm using. Then I have it's on my other phone. This phone, I have the account on my phone, so at any time I can listen to it. But sometimes it's not really easy because it's something like some of the books you want to get a lot of what it's inside. It's not just listening passively without really getting what we prompt you to take action. But I would say for the past 3 weeks, it has been very, very helpful. I've learned so much lessons. Then let's continue. Number 4, read fewer books than ever been. Read fewer books that have ever been around for days. Read more books than have been around for decades. So what he's saying here is that you might want to read books that have been around for decades. You understand? Not that they are good books like Adam Grant. He has a lot of books. Those are new books, but they are very, very good. But what he was just saying, like I used to tell people, one of my favorite books is Think and Grow Rich, which I've proposed many times for people to read. It's a very good one. We're just saying read books that have been there for decades. There are some bestsellers that they have like lesson that you can learn from. Then number 5 is if you ever say you don't have time to read books, just take a look at your phone screen time. So what he's saying here is sometime I get weekly report on my phone time, how many hours I've spent on my phone. Sometimes it's crazy, 7 hours in a week on my phone. So if you say you don't have time, but you have a lot of time, and I believe a lot of people are just giving excuses why they are not reading, why they are not learning, because most time you be on your phone, you be on social media, watching what other people are doing, but you are not doing anything. So you might want to take it as a challenge and do something for yourself. Number 6, all reading counts as reading. Try to print all reading counts as reading. Try printing books, ebooks, and audiobooks to find the format that works best for you. All reading counts. Try printed books, ebooks, audiobooks to find the format that works best for you. Like I said, because of my routine at the moment, I might not really have time to sit down and read a book. But this morning, I sat down and read some pages of a book. I really get a lot from the book. I won't lie. You just saying that what I learned today, the one thing is that why people don't achieve their purpose, why people don't achieve what they set to do, because there is no laser clarity. You understand? Some people don't really know what they want. You understand? For me, since I've been reading that book, what I told myself, I asked myself, what is the one thing that I would do today in terms of my career, in terms of my business, in terms of my relationship, that at the end of the day, I would say I've done something worthwhile. So for me, every day I ask myself, what is the one thing? What is the one thing? What is the one thing? So it's a very good book. I would recommend the book for anyone that love reading. You might not, it's not something, reading is not something you want to love. It's something that you need to do, because if you say you are looking for what you love to do, and learning, you learning to improve yourself, to develop yourself, is not something that you want to say you want to learn, you want to love. Because if you don't love learning, that means you say you're telling yourself that you don't love growth. So you want to find time, you want to encourage yourself, you want to like find every ways to encourage yourself to do what you need to do. I believe my wife is back from work. Let me meet her now. I will be back in a few minutes. Hello, fine. Hello. All right, thank you very much. Hello. As I was saying, my door was open, so I just got a parcel now from the poster man. So as I was saying, reading is not optional. Learning is not optional. You want to put more effort. You just know that it's compulsory. It's something that you need to do all the time because you want to be better at all time. Then number 7 on my list, it is not about how many books you get through that matters. It is about how many books that get through you that count. So we used to have an adage. It's not don't. Some people pass through school, and some people school pass through them. So it's not at the number of books you have read that matters, but the one that have passed through you, the one that you learned from, the one that have made an impact in your life. I would say, Think and Grow Rich is one book that I believe has really made. I always make reference to that book all the rest of my life because I learned so much from that book. Please, my family, my friends, I just want you to give me 5 minutes. I want to get something to drink, and I will be back in few minutes. So right now we're in number 7. I don't. It's not how many books you have read, but how many have passed through you. So next phase we are going to number 8. So hang on a few minutes. I'll be back. As- uh, yeah. So I just got myself water to drink, and back to our topic. What we are discussing about 35 reading tips that I've learned after reading a lot of book 35 reading tips. So this new year you just need to have some tip, like we'll talk about it 35, but you just pick the one that works for you. Like we have made it clear from the beginning that some people like audiobooks, some people like ebooks, some people like printed books. So you might just want to know the one that works for you. And it depends. Sometimes it might be audiobook, sometimes it might be ebook, sometimes it might be printed book. So it depends. Maybe when if you travel a lot, you might just want to have like a hard copy of book, because sometimes when I'm on the train, I just have a book that I'm reading. And do you know one thing about me over the years? Sometimes I always like having books around me, even when I'm not reading them, so that I have something. If maybe if I'm bored, or maybe I just want to be busy, I just have one book to read. But going forward, let's go to number 8. Put your phone on silent and leave it in another room before reading, and you will 10x your focus. So yes, which is very true. Putting your phone on, if you want to be focused, sometimes you just gotta keep a lot of gadgets away from you so that you can be focused and have some level of clarity, because sometimes a lot of notification maybe on your phone, like my email comes on my phone and my iPad, so I might be somewhere, I would like I get a text message, a phone my a notification from my phone. If I'm close to my iPad, I get another notification there. Sometimes it's very distracting. So, but though I need the notification because I need to know the emails, and I get a lot of email, work email, and the rest from my phone. So that's why I'm just leaving it the way it is at the moment. But sometimes it's really distracting. So you want to put your phone on silent. Maybe if you want to read, you want to find time to read, you want to do the things that you believe that are important to you. You want to put them on silent. Number 9, reading good books, rereading great books, rebuy groundbreaking books. Like I would say, like some books I've bought them over 4 times. like this audiobooks that I'm reading now, this one on Grant Cardone, 100 Ways to Motivate Yourself. This is the second time I'm buying the book. So sometimes you might, because I've listened to that book so many times. It's always a go-to. It's something that you want to read. It's something that it's not on hard copy. It's just on audio. You can get it on Audible. I listen to it all the time. Grant Cardone is fantastic. It's a good motivator. In short, when you listen to Grant Cardone, you want to fly. He wrote a lot of good books that I have some of his book. Let me get one for you. You might find it very interesting. Maybe you can get it in any of the shops. Where is this book? Yeah, this one is Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone. This is one of Grant Cardone books, 10x. You might want to look for this book. It's a very, very, very good book. Like everybody I know, though I have this audio, I have the soft copy, then I have the hard copy. So, like we said in the other time, maybe you might want to rebuy and buy. You understand? So, but I've bought a lot of books. If I'm not, I've bought book more than 1,000. I've misplaced book. I've given a lot of book. I've give some people came to my house. They picked some and they never returned. But now I don't really give out my books. I would prefer to just buy a book for you and let it be. So when I went to Nigeria, I still have a lot of books in Nigeria. So I don't really know how to bring them back, bring them into this country. But I have a lot of books in Nigeria. So books are very cheap in Nigeria. If you want to buy books, they are very, very cheap in Nigeria. Like this one in Nigeria, I bought this one like 1,500 naira in Nigeria. 1,500 is 1,500 is how much? £1 is 2,000. This book in Nigeria is less than £1. So most time when I travel to Nigeria, I just buy books because it's much cheaper. But in the UK, it's over like £12. Yeah, so that's the difference. So sometimes you can get a lot of books cheaper in Nigeria. So most times, if I'm going to Nigeria, I buy a lot of books in Nigeria. So because I know I can get them cheaper. So going forward, number 10, you don't become a reader and then start reading books. You start reading books and then you become a reader. You don't become a reader and then start reading books. So reading books is just reading books. As I'm talking, I'm having more inspiration and like I'm having some regrets because for a long time I've not really sat down to read that much the way I used to read. You understand? So, and reading has really impacted my life. As in, it has really, really impacted me. There's so much to gain from reading. There is so much to gain from reading. You will never lose anything from reading. It's 100% gain. But I always encourage people, like my wife today, because of me, she started reading. You understand? And she likes reading. I know she likes reading, but she doesn't see anything to read. So I supply her all the books that she needs to read. So most time when I'm having challenge trying to pass a message across to her, and I'm finding it very difficult because I know she loves reading, I'll just go and buy the book and give her, promise her money. I'll say, please, if you can read this book, I will buy you something good. So in the process of even reading the book, she's now having a different thought, coming to meet me and telling me what I've been telling her for many years, that this is the way to go about it. But it's always good, as in, I believe if we can encourage each other to read, because for me to what is one of the, like, growing up, I have a friend, a base, that we used to read a lot. We read together, and when we read together we discuss things. So I've not seen him for some years, over 3 years. He was in my house a few years ago, 2 years ago. So, but we still have a lot of things to talk about because when we are much younger, we read books together, discuss about books together. So that has really been very helpful, even in growing up. So for me, you might want to have a partner that reads, a friend, close friend that reads. So because sometimes you talk to people, they don't really have content. They don't even have something to talk about. They just talk about shallow things that are not meaningful. So, but reading helps. Reading broadens your mind. Reading makes you to tap into other people' creativity, their mindset. So reading is very helpful. Very helpful. I will always recommend reading to everybody. Encourage your children to read. Encourage your brothers, your family, your wife, your father. If it's to even like appeal to them, maybe giving, if they can read a book, give them a particular present that will help them. That will go a long way. I know my wife, I gave her The Richest Man in Babylon to read. When she finished reading that book, a lot, in short, I was tired of stories because the book was full of stories. So, and she, up to date, she's always making reference to that book. You understand? So that is the power of book. That's the power of information. That's the power of reading. So the next point is, it is better to quit a book than to quit reading altogether. It's better to quit a book than to quit reading altogether. So reading is something that you want to do for yourself. You want to be a good learner. Learn every day. Every day. For me, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube. I learn on YouTube every day. I believe it has really impacted my life. It has really impacted a lot of stuff. You understand? Because I believe I've grown. I'm not the way I used to be. Things have changed. I've become a better man, become a better father, become a better husband, brother, uncle. You understand? So that's what reading can do. Then number 12. If a book changes your life, aim to reread it once a year. If a book changes your life, aim to read it once in a year. Like I'm talking about, what's the name of the book? Think and Grow Rich. You have Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad Poor Dad. All those are good books. All those are classic. This book also is a very good book. I always recommend this book. I recommend Grant Cardone. Listen to him. If you're a businessman, entrepreneur, if you're an employee, read it, learn from him. It's a good one. You learn so much from him. Then return, regift, recycle books you didn't enjoy. Return. Sometimes you have books that you didn't enjoy. You can return it, recycle it. You can give it as a gift. Then 14 is speed reading. Is reading twice as fast to remember half as much. Speed reading. That's what I do for some time now. Just speed reading. Even my YouTube is faster than normal. It's not I don't use the normal speed to listen to YouTube because I have so much to listen to, so I can't be listening to with it on a normal speed. Then my Audible is 1.25, so that's fast reading. So you don't want to slow down and be listening to something that, not that is boring, but it's slow. But if you can fast it and speed read it, it's better. Then number 15, best place to read are airplanes, beach, and park. But that is not all. You can read at your home. But just say some of the best place. Like if I'm traveling on the plane, sometimes have a conversation with people around me. After a while, I just carry my book and read. Maybe before I spend 3-4 hours reading a book, before you know the plane has landed. Mostly when I'm going to Lagos, before you know, from Lagos to London is 6 hours. Before, if I read for, I've chat with people around me 1 hour, read for 3 hours, which is 4 hours, maybe eat, use the restroom. Before you know, 3-4 hours has gone. So before you know, you're already in Lagos. So that's my fastest flight, and that's the way I do. I'll just have. But if I'm traveling on the airplane, I'm always with my books. So number 16, the rite of passage, and the reader must go through it, is learning how to pick books for themselves instead of waiting for others to pick books for them, like how parents, teacher, and professor did. So you want to learn to pick books for yourself. But like one of the things I enjoy most, there's a bookshop around me, but they don't really have good books. They don't really have my kind of books. So but though they have some books, they have some good books, but very few. So sometimes if I'm less busy, I just like going around books. I enjoy going around books. So you might want to pick books for yourself. Sometimes you like pin some books. Like there are some books I saw on Amazon that I want to read. You understand? And do you know what? Even in the UK right now, you can even buy books on credit. So we don't have an excuse. I don't have an excuse not to read because I can buy books on credit and read. You understand? When I was much younger, when I started reading books, I would go to the bookshop. Then they used to sell books in Nigeria very cheap. At that time, that was 1999. Books were very cheap, so I go to the bookshop. Even though I don't have money, I will give them my wristwatch. I'll tell them to hold my wristwatch. That if I bring the book, if I bring the money, I'll collect my wristwatch. And then book were like really far cheaper. Now in pounds. It's less than, it's just pence. You understand? So what I would say, go get good books for yourself. Then number 17 is reading books summarize and thinking you understand the book. It's like watching a movie thriller and think you understand the movie. So a summarized book is not a book. You want to have time to read the whole book. Like it's been long. I finished a book. I won't lie. It's been very long, but I see my wife finish like books after books. Like I'm always happy because she can read them even when I can't finish. Yeah, but when it comes to audiobooks, I finish audiobooks. But for now, printed books, I as in I at the moment I find it very difficult to finish, but I do well on audiobooks. The goal of reading is application, not memorizing. Stop spending time trying to remember information instead of spending time trying to apply the information. So the goal is to apply. The goal is to apply. That's the one and only law of winning. When it comes to reading, the one and only law of winning is the application. It's not how much you have known. It's not how much you know. It's not what you know. It's how much you apply what you have known. You understand? So you want to read and apply what you have read. You want to read every day. Once you read something new, I learned this from Anthony Robbins. It's call it Kaizen, constant and never-ending improvement. You want to improve yourself on a daily basis. You want to improve yourself on your work, how you talk, how you speak. Like I told myself, like this year, I want to improve the way I speak. You won't know that you don't know how to speak until you come on a camera, until you start talking. That is when you know that I can't really speak that much. I can't even speak for 10 minutes. So you want to develop yourself, you want to learn how to do it. And all this it comes with practicing. You need to practice, you need to put time in it. You understand? Like for me, I encouraged my wife to have a YouTube channel 3 years ago. Today she's a professional. She can stay on the camera. Why me? I'm still struggling. I'm the one telling her to do this, to do that, how to put one or two things in order, how to speak. I scrutinize her, I criticize her, I tell her what to do, but I don't do any. But right now I'm even learning. Sometimes she laugh at me. So that is what it is. So because I always tell her what to do, I don't do it. So you want to do those things. You want to do what you are telling people to do. You want to practice what you preach. You want to be doing what you are learning. It's not just learning it. You want to be a practitioner. You practice what you preach. Practice what you are learning. You don't want to just learn things and keep it. You want to learn things and apply what you have learned. So that is the way it goes. You can't just learn things and be passive about it. You want to teach others. You want to put it into practice. Like God knows when I said I want to have a YouTube channel over 4 or 5 years ago. You understand? But I was scared. I can't even face the camera. I can't even talk to the camera. It was a big challenge. But doing it now, I see myself getting better every day. You understand? So that is what you want to do. That is the way you want to push yourself, put yourself in the situation. That's the only way you can learn. You can't learn how to play table tennis by reading. You understand? You need to hold the bat, go to the board. Or you want to learn how to swim, by reading. You can learn how to swim by reading. So you go to the pool, they'll put in the pool. Okay, come on, swim. Your legs, put your legs up. But I'm a good swimmer. So you can learn all those things by just learning them in theory in the books or watching them on YouTube. If you want to learn how to swim, you take it to the pool. There's water. You don't have to be in the pool. You have to be on the water. You have to wet yourself for you to learn to swim. So you cannot be swimming. You cannot be sitting down on your chair in the house and be learning how to swim. It doesn't work that way. You want to be involved. You want to be practical. You want to learn how to talk. You put your camera, sit down on the chair and start talking. That's the way to talk. So there was a guy I listened to many years ago. What's his name again? If I remember his name, I'll tell you. Les Brown. He said when his job, he said he wants to become a radio broadcaster. So when he got his first opportunity to be on air, he said he doesn't know what to say. So the owner of the radio station just called him because he was the only one on shift. He said you need to start talking. So then he started talking. So you don't want to learn things and not apply them. So we want to be doer. We want to be even in the Bible say Jesus say, we want you to be a doer of the word, not hearer. And you just hear the word and not do the word. So you want to do the word. So you want to be among those that do the word. So that's what I told myself this year. I want to be a doer of the word. I don't want to just hear. I don't want to just learn and just stay docile, not doing anything about it. You want to be active. That's what gives results. That's the one and only law of winning. You understand? The one and only law of winning is being active. Be a doer. That's what even the word of God said. We are in number 19. The goal, number 20. If you want to build a reading habit, set a goal to read 2 minutes every day. This goal is small. That is impossible to come up with a unreasonable excuse not to do it. Okay. If you say you want to read 2 minutes every day, except there's no excuse because 2 minutes is 2 minutes. If you say you want to read for 2 minutes, it is 2 minutes. So you want to set a goal. Maybe that's what I would do. Set a goal. But I do it every day now. I listen to audiobooks every day. I'm even thinking of buying. There are some I want to buy now. You understand? Audiobooks in the UK is £7. £7 for an audiobook, and it will be yours forever. You understand? So you want to have if you want to listen to it for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes. Like for me, when I'm driving, I listen to it. When I'm walking, I listen to it. So I learn a lot, and some of them I've read the book before. So sometimes you just, like the Bible says, faith come by hearing and hearing the word of God. So the more you hear the word, the more you hear it, the more it motivates you, the more it gives you that push. So you want to spend time to listen again, listen all the time. So I believe that will be very helpful. Just tell yourself, maybe in the next, every day I want to give myself 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Then we'll say 30 minutes, 5 minutes every day for 30 days. 5 minutes, 30 days every day. At least that was not an excuse. You won't say I don't have time because you have 5 minutes every day. 5 minutes every day. So you don't have any excuse. I believe after a while, you can even go more than 5 minutes, but just say 5 minutes. Anything above 5 minutes, you know that you have overshooted your time. But at least you have given yourself 5 minutes. If it's more interesting, you can keep on going. That is the way to develop habits. So number 21, the person who writes the book summarize benefits 10x more than the person who read the summary. Number 22, if you read a book but don't change your behavior or thinking in any way, either the book sucks or you learn nothing. So reading a book without changing, what is the essence of reading something? What is the essence of knowing something without doing it? If you have read a book about, let's say, the one thing that I'm reading, you understand, this is 10x. 10x is multiple multiple approach. 10x is if you are trying to do something like 10x, let's say you are trying to get maybe, let's say, a wife or maybe a girlfriend. If you don't just make it one call in a day, you can make 15 calls, 30 calls. Like when I came into this country, I was looking for job. I apply like 50 I make 50 application every day. At the time I was not I was not getting response. So I just thought about this book I've read. Grant Cardone just said, man, 10x your approach. I didn't even 10x, I 50x. Every day I sent 50, I sent out 50 application. Every day, as I wake up in the morning, I start sending application, maybe 25 from morning to afternoon. Then evening, I send another 25, 50. Every day, 50. Every day, 50. In less than a week, I started having calls. I forgot the places I even applied for. I said, man, hello, are you Henry? Yes, yeah, you applied for so. I say, yes, okay, I applied. I told myself that it's the only, I will only stop until I get a job. That's what I told myself. Because the money I brought for Nigeria, I was running out of cash. I've spent so much. I've lived in this country for 5 years without 5 months without working. So I was just spending the money I brought for Nigeria. Every day I was spending, and the exchange rate was really crazy. You understand? So I got to a point that I told myself that I want to look for a job now because I need to survive. If you read 48 Law of Power, I say if you get into a place, the first thing you need to do is to survive. You understand? You should have to learn to survive first. You need to survive in the place. You need to learn to survive with the resources from the place that you are, not that you are surviving from resources you brought from Nigeria. You understand? So I was just thinking I was not doing myself any good. Like, why would I be spending money I brought from Nigeria when I'm here? I can make money here. So I started applying for jobs. Like I said, 50 job in a day. 50. I apply 50, make 50 application every day. So the request, they started calling me from live front and center. I was just having interviews. Some interview I was not taking the one. Then later I got a place. Even when I've started working, people have started they still start calling me, but after them I've already got a job. You understand? So what I'm just trying to say, that is what I learned from 10x. 10x is massive approach. When you mean massive approach, it's not just trying something once and you fail and you stop. No, you fail, you try again, you fail. Like, I believe in failure. You learn so much from failure. People don't like the word failure. They think that's the end of the world. But you learn a lot from failure. When you fail, you learn so much lesson. Someone said, when you fail and you didn't reflect on your failures, you won't learn anything from it. But once you fail, you reflect on it. In short, the best thing that can ever happen to you is when you fail. You learn so much. Even in business. Oh man, I've made so many mistakes in business, and those mistakes have paid me so much. They have made it to make so much money in business when you make mistakes. But not sometimes you might not be able to come out from all the mistakes, but I believe the ones you are not able to come out, you will still learn from those mistakes. So failure in business, failure in life, they are good. They are not bad thing. Is enjoy failure. Enjoy failure, learn from there, and move on. There's nothing bad in failure. There's no bad thing in failure. So there's not like failure, just an outcome. You understand? So you just have an outcome. You have an outcome that you didn't anticipate. You are looking for something good, like maybe you are looking for maybe the best, but you didn't get it. So, but you get something close. You got an outcome. So that is what you want to be looking at. You want to be looking at. You want to get. It's just an outcome. So don't be scared to fail. Don't be scared to apply everything you have learned from any book. Try to apply them. If you remember, try to apply them even in your relationship. You understand? Don't be one-sided. You can't be good in your business and your relationship is poor. So you want to learn to apply everything you have learned from any book. Number 23, just because you bought a book doesn't mean it become you. Just because you bought a book, it doesn't mean it came with a binded contract to finish it. All right. every book, like we all know, I have so many books here in my shelf. There are some I've read, some I've not read them, some I've started it, I've not finished it. But you are it's not compulsory that you must finish them. There are some book now you have on your shelf. They are good books, but you have not read them. But sometimes in life, something will just happen. Like, man, let me go through this book. You understand? You might just gain something from it. So it's not because you have it you must read it. Number 24, everyone who reads 100 plus book in a year is ever getting paid to read. Author, academic, and podcast content creator, all reading friction. No one has ever read the same book twice, for it is not the same book and it is not the same man. So really, like this, I said I've read this book, 10x rule. I've read it like twice. I've listened to it like once. So listening to it again is you are not the same. It's not the same person that read it the other time, and it won't be the same book. You have new information, new revelation. There's some things that was there before that you didn't see. Reading it again, it might open your eye of understanding. You might see something different. So that is why you want to read some books again. Even reading the Bible, you can see people reading the Bible for many years and they're still reading it again. The more you read it, the more you have new information, the more you have new insight. Number 25, books are investment and not expenses. Like I see books as an investment. Books are, for me, they are 100% investment. You are investing on yourself. It's not when you buy clothes or you buy a house that is an investment. So there are a lot of books are investment. They are learning tools. They are tools that are make you to become a better person. So anything that will make you to become better is an investment. So you want to invest in yourself. You want to read good books. You want to listen to good books. So like this year, someone was saying last year, he said if you check how much you spend on books and your bank account, he said if you look at your bank account, it will show you how much you have spent on books, how much you have spent on education. Most of us, we have not spent any money on education, on how to develop ourselves. This 2025, you might want to spend money on yourself, on your mental health, on your mind. You want to invest on your mind. And you know what? It's even more cheaper now. Someone said that knowledge is cheap, but you need to pay attention. Knowledge is cheap, but you need to pay attention. Like most of all these books, they are on Google and they are on YouTube. You can listen to them, but you need to be focused. You don't need to be distracted. You understand? That is what a gift you want to give to yourself this year. So you want to invest more time on yourself, on learning, on developing yourself, and become a better version of yourself. So I would say this season, invest on yourself, invest on reading, invest on learning, invest on like time. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube. They interviewed one Olympic gold medal. The lady won 6 gold medal on the Olympics. They were asking her who is her mentor, who trained her, this and that, blah blah blah. She said, I learned everything on YouTube. I was shocked. Everything on YouTube. Everything on YouTube. So you might want to focus, want to like give yourself that space, that time to develop yourself. There are a lot of resources to learn from now. All it takes is for you to pay attention, give yourself the time to do that. Let's move on. Carry a book with you everywhere you go. You never know when you will find yourself with an extra time to read. Like I said, I carry books to everywhere I go to, but only that I cannot carry a book to work because I won't have time to read it. You understand? I won't really have time to read a book at work. But apart from work, everywhere I go, I carry a book. If I'm traveling, when I'm traveling, I can't be on a train without carrying a book. I must carry a book. I must have something to read. It's very important. Everywhere I go, because you might have a time to read. Let me have some water. So carrying a book as, because you might just have some spare time to read some stuff, learn something new, move on. It's always good. You understand? So number 28, a give a book 3 chapter to win you over. If you aren't in it by then, it is don't feel guilty of waiting. Give a book what he's saying is give a book 3 chapter. That's 3 chances. The first chapter, second chapter, if you are not really getting any stuff from it, just quit. Number 30, easy reading hack. Download an ebook or an audiobook to put on your phone so you always have something to read if you don't have a physical book to read. Like I said, for me, I have audiobooks, I have ebooks, I have on my iPad, I have a lot of books on my iPad. Let me just open it so that you can have a look at what I'm saying. I have so many books on my iPad. So sometimes when I'm less busy, I go to my iPad, where my files, yeah, you can see these are some of my books. Some of my books that I have on my iPad. All those are books. All those are books. I have over 150 books? This one is just one of my iPad that I have books. I have another iPad here. Where is that my iPad? I have another iPad with loads of books inside. Where's my iPad? So in all, what I'm just trying to say, just to encourage everyone that follows this channel, the importance of reading, the importance of learning. Like I have still like an artist, software testing, finish what you start, deep thinking, Daniel Goleman, power of focus, creative thinking, Facebook and social media expose, how propaganda works, how to be a powerful person, imagination your way forward. There are so many books here. In short, like you can see, this is 10x. This is 10x again. This is 10x. You can see 10x here again. I have it here. So you can see 10x. I have the book here on my phone again. So look at it. Look at it. So it's something that I believe learning is one great habit that everybody, you want to teach your kids, you want to teach people up, everybody around you, tell them the benefit of learning. It cannot be overemphasized. So it's one way. Some people might give an excuse why they're not learning, why they're not reading, but you want to. There are a lot of way of learning, a lot of way of reading. You might learn. You have the audio. You might, like for me, like I said, I go on audio these days. I go on audios these days. I don't really, for now, I don't really, because of what I do, I don't really have time to have carry book along. But they are on my phone. They are on my iPad, so I just carry them along. Then number 31, the highest praise you can give an author is showing them that you wrote, highlight, and devour their books. If you show them a praise book, they will think you didn't even read it. Spend more time reading short books. Some of them, shortest books, have the deepest lesson. Some books are not really big, like I said. That book is a big. There are some books you just pick. There's a big book, you can just pick one lesson, and that lesson alone will transform your life. So you want to give yourself permission to read. It might be a small book. Pick up a small book and read. You just have to develop yourself. start reading small. So it might be a small book. From there, you move on to a big book. It might not be a big book. I have so many books. Let me just bring some of them so that you might see. I have so many books here that I've learned from. So it's something that you want to put into practice. Give yourself permission. Do what you need to do. You understand? And I believe life will be better for every one of us. This one is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey. Oh man, this is one of my best books that I've read long time ago. It's a very, very good one. Start with the end in mind. Be proactive. The paradigm and principle. Ooh, man, public victory. Think win-win. This one is this guy, may his soul rest in peace. Yeah, Stephen Covey has blessed his generation. Stephen Covey has blessed his generation. Learned so much from him. Then we have the Atomic Habits. This one I bought. I've read it in Nigeria, but when I came to the UK, I bought it to my wife, and she read it. I believe reading has really helped. Okay, she's back from work, and this one is Stephen Covey. Come and say hello to my fans. This one is Everyday Greatness. This one is The Law of Human Nature. So, like I said, let's call it a day. Let me go back to business of taking care of my wife. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.